Welcome from the IFA 2015, where we have here the brand new Marshall smartphone called London. This is the first smartphone by the guys that make really awesome speakers for your bands, and therefore we also need a good smartphone to go with it. As it seems, at least, there will be in the box also really expensive headphones, and headphones are really an essential part of the smartphone, since it has actually two headphone jacks here on top, which can be separately controlled in terms of volume, and you have a dedicated music player button here. So if I press this one a little bit, then the music player will turn on, and we can set up not only, of course, the regular music settings, but also here some equalizer stuff and also extra things here on the device. But more about that later. First, let's check out the outside, where we have the on and off switch, volume rocker, and this is also the camera button. So if you are in the phone somewhere, we can press this button and then the camera app will turn on, which we'll try out later. And then here on the bottom, of course, micro USB and microphone for charging and phone calls. And on top, you have already seen it here, the dual speakers. And then on the back, you have the 8-megapixel camera with a flashlight, the Marshall logo, and of course this seems like leather, but we have a fake leather back like on the Samsung Galaxy Note 5, which you can of course take off. And then also we have the 2500 mAh battery, inside LTE with the Snapdragon 410 by Qualcomm. Again, a Marshall logo, a micro SD card slot here, and the nano SIM card slot can also not be missing here in the Marshall London phone. So let's close this guy up. And yeah, let's check it out from the front, where it looks again also quite nice, with a dual speaker setup, which are not that loud, but sound-wise not bad actually in terms of quality. 2-megapixel on the front, and we will try those out later. First, a little bit more about the phone, where we have 2 gigs of RAM inside and also 16 gig of internal memory that we can show you actually right now when we unlock it and go into the settings in the Android Lollipop 5.11 device, that we can just go into storage, and we have 7 gigs free of the 16 internal things. But of course we have a lot of audio on here for demos and testing. Then if we go back a little bit, then we have of course also here a few apps that we can use, like for example, of course, a lot of stuff running in the background. And here again we have 1.3 gig free, but you can also of course close a few, and then more RAM will be free. And actually we don't even have a full HD screen, just 4.7-inch HD resolution, but it's enough. If you look at the phone, it's really quite fast with the Snapdragon 410. This is definitely enough for 550 bucks, so a lot of people accept a little bit more in terms of specs, but I think if it's just speed-wise fast and really good to use, it's really good. But I think a good camera would be also nice for musicians to just have a nice selfie camera, for example, at concerts. This would be a lot better if it wouldn't be only just 2 megapixels on the front, but the back camera is actually quite decent with the full HD resolution, and of course 8 megapixel here for shooting pictures. The quality is alright, as you can see, and we can also focus anywhere we want, and then have nice pictures shot here with this Android Marshall London smartphone, which in terms of size, display size, should be exactly the same as the Apple iPhone 6, and you can see it here that it's true. It is the exact same size. iPhone, of course, a little bit different design. It's also slimmer, the iPhone, but the battery in the Marshall is a little bit bigger with 2600, 500 milliamps, but still not that much if you ask me, and of course a lot slimmer the iPhone if you want. I think a decent phone with around about the same price right now. The Sony Xperia Z3 Plus is waterproof, has also dual speakers, and has especially a really nice design with everything metal and glass on the front and back, and a lot better cameras, so definitely check the Sony out. And I think the reference model still is the Samsung Galaxy S6 or S6 Edge in this case. Here we have that with a 5.1-inch screen, so a little bit bigger, but actually the phone itself is almost the same size as the Marshall phone. If I put them on top of each other in terms of thickness, you can see that it's also about the same. But again, there are a lot better cameras. The price is a little bit higher also, with around about 500 to 600 bucks when you buy it. But of course Marshall has a lot of musicians in their pockets with the name, and of course the dual speaker out is always a nice thing to have, and the logo is just really also a nice brand. So thank you much for tuning in. This was the Marshall the London phone here from the IFA 2015. My name is Balazs. Thank you much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe.